My name is David Anderson. I had to spell it earlier, but I'm just a kid from the Bronx, man. You know, the Bronx, New York is where I grew up, and I knew I wanted to go to Atlanta to go to school. I had went to a boarding school in Connecticut, and the Kent schools. When I was growing up, it was like real difficult in Atlanta, in the Bronx, extremely difficult. And so I got sent up to this boarding school, and I just knew I needed to get to Atlanta. It was like, I don't want to be here, I want to be in Atlanta. And so in 1994, I attempted to go to Morehouse College, was unsuccessful, and wound up at a school called Morris Brown. And when I got to Morris Brown, I just knew that I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what it was. And I wanted to do something more specific in the broadcast arena, radio. And so I wound up working with Alfred Liggins. Miss Kathy Hughes of Radio 1 had just helped to facilitate a transaction with her son, Alfred Liggins, for a radio station in Atlanta. And I wound up being part of that original team to put that station on the air. And at that point is when my broadcast career officially has started. And so I was in broadcasting from '94 to about 2004 for a good 10 years before I met George. And I was actually a disc jockey. Was a DJ on the radio, and I was on BET as a DJ for a big ticket in the basement. And I think it was 2001 that I applied for a scholarship from or a business grant competition from the Miller Business Grant Competition in 2001. We were the first recipients of a $100,000 grant with 5 people that won in the United States. And with that grant money, I utilized that money to build a studio facility. And I met George because I was the winner for Georgia. The Atlanta Business League sponsored this event, and they, when the winners would win, the entrepreneurs would win, they partnered you with these mentors. I got 2 mentors. One was a gentleman named Munson Steed, who owns Rolling Out magazine, and Munson directly introduced me to George because he felt like, in my situation, I needed to know who this gentleman was. So at a Bronner Brothers convention in 2003, for the first time, I was exposed to Mr. Frazier's teachings. And prior to that, I had been a DJ playing hip hop music, and breaking records was my thing. That's what I had aspired to do at the time in my life. But hearing George speak at the Bronner Brothers conference changed the trajectory of my career. No longer was I just going to use my influence on the air to play music, to break Little John or the East Side Boys or Ying Yang Twins. It would now be utilized to promote this message of empowerment. I didn't know that in 2003. And so 2008, 7-8, I got an opportunity to deliver content to XM Radio. And we had designed Blackonomics. And we built the facility to distribute a live radio feed to Eckington Place in DC. That's where XM studios are. And that's how we're here.